Hi. Welcome to Adobe Live. I am your host, Jasmine Whitaker, and I will be with you for the next few days, and it's going to be wonderful and fantastic. Today, I'm here with Shanti Sparrow, all the way from New York.
Yeah.
How's it going?
Good. I'm so excited to be here.
Yeah. You flew in last night.
I did.
First time.
My first time. I'm starstruck by it.
And we're having good weather, so...
Yes.
Everything is great on this side of the world for now. Let's see who we have in the chat right now before we get into things.
Hi, Emily.
We have Emily. We have do we know Emily?
We do know Emily.
Yes, already. Already
and
here.
Emma. Oh my gosh.
Oh my goodness. Hi, Alan. Hi. Equipos. I want to know how to say that correctly because I know I didn't say it correctly, but that's such a cool name. Nikita, welcome. Wow, you already have your fan club is here.
They're the best.
Santaji, welcome. Oh my gosh, so it looks like we're gonna have a full chat today. It's gonna be great. Yeah, so before we jump into all things Shanti and her amazing work, of course, we have housekeeping here on Adobe Live, just a few things to keep in mind. Earlier today and yesterday, we have an Illustrator Daily Creative Challenge, which I'm super excited about. We're going to be reviewing yesterday's challenge submissions and then also today's. So for yesterday, if you didn't catch the stream earlier, you can go on Behance and check out the replay. Yesterday's challenge was designing signage using blend modes and gradients. So that should be a fun one, and we'll look at those today. And then for today's challenge, it was designing a promotional poster, which is pretty cool, focusing on the type tool and the rectangle tool. So we will look at both of those submissions today. So make sure you go to the top of Behance and go to the challenge tab and submit your work so we can give you some feedback, and it'll be great. I'm excited to see what you guys do with that.
Definitely.
And last but not least, we always have a chat and win. So chat and win is when we ask our lovely chat group to just say anything. They could literally say a syllable or a letter or whatever, or type it, not say it, for a chance to win Sticker Mill stickers. And so they will get a free code to get 3x3 custom stickers, and then hopefully they'll send one to us. I haven't received any yet, but I have my fingers crossed. One of these days we'll get a sticker from somebody. But you guys know the drill. We're here, we're ready, and let's get into it.
All right.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay, so I guess I might just start with introducing myself
Yes.
and what I do. So I'll just go onto my website.
If you're not familiar with Shanti, she is an amazing creator, graphic designer, illustrator, teacher, editorial designer. She does it all.
What's great to see in the chat is that there's so many students and graduates there. So Hi, everybody. So I am Australian. I'm a Kiwi-born Australian. I moved to New York 3 years ago. Came across to teach at Shillington School of Graphic Design. And I also have my own studio. So my studio focuses a lot on branding. Mm-hmm. I love branding. I also do a lot of editorials. So here are 2 editorial pieces, which is what we're going to be focusing on today.
Fries, burgers and fries.
Yes,
that's
packaging,
so
which is amazing. I think one of the things that I'm really enjoying right now and doing a lot of is event branding. And I love it so much. So this one is the New York Women's Surf Film Festival.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that existed.
Oh, it's amazing. Run by brilliant people and in the Rockaways and Montauk, and everybody should go support it. But I love event design just because, you spent a lot of time making this moment and all these touch pieces to experience.
Yeah.
But it's sort of like a limited edition brand. It only exists for a day, a week, as opposed to a regular brand that might be there for a year. So it's kind of special to work with those ones.
Yeah, that's an interesting perspective. I've never thought of that. It lasts for that moment or the few days, and then...
Yeah, it's like memories or it's photos or, you know, in your folio, and that's all where it exists.
That is quite special.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also did some food festivals, which was really great. Of course, the best thing about this is getting, you know, free tickets to feed all of your friends.
Ah, yes.
But yeah, just once again loving branding and all of those touch points.
Oh, I love that mock-up in the newspaper.
Yeah, it was a good one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do they have banners like that in newspapers now?
Yeah, I think it was a half-page ad.
Oh,
yeah.
wow. That's very, like, modern. See, in San Francisco, no one looks at newspapers.
Oh.
It's so sad.
I'm sure, well, that was a community newspaper for sure.
Yeah, it's also a very New York thing.
Yes.
Like, people... I shouldn't say people still read in New York, but you know what I mean. I think people appreciate some of that stuff a little bit more.
For sure. I mean, I might just show editorial just because that's what we're going to be doing today.
Yeah, let's do it.
This one is actually an annual report, and it's, you know, it's got all the scientific findings in it. Mm. And initially when you look at that, probably doesn't look like a scientific report.
But that's awesome.
But I got to work with brilliant people who let me have a lot of creative freedom. And one of the things I love to do, and what we're going to do today, is introduce, you know, the entire visual language of a piece in the cover, and then throughout it, break it apart and explore it in different ways.
Oh, wow. It's hard to believe this is a report. It's beautiful.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I mean, it was a brilliant report to work on for sure.
Yeah, that's such a huge thing now. I'm hearing a lot of kind of case studies around people in academia and like science and biology, and they're trying to find more engaging ways to like teach and get people excited about like science and environmentalists and all of that stuff.
It's really important.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's one of the best things that designers can do for the world, is that we can make data and information accessible to others, and if we can make it engaging, that opens the door for all of that information.
Yeah, and you can do it beyond charts.
Yeah, definitely. Bless infographics.
Yes, we still love them.
And then maybe just like a last piece that I'll show is, this was Oh Hey, it was a zine that was created by myself. It was a, you know, self-made project. Just with the idea that I could bridge the gap between like the design world and entertainment world as well. Ooh. And it's got music in there and storytelling.
I love that. Yeah. I just love the saying, oh hey.
Oh hey, yeah.
Oh hey.
Definitely inviting you in.
Pulp Fiction reference in there.
Yeah, definitely. I think I basically picked all of my favorite things and put them together.
Girl after my own heart.
Yeah, I mean, the idea of this was that each issue would take the aesthetic of the key feature article. So this is about Liechtenstein, and he does all that comic book styling. So
I think I'm familiar.
Yeah, I tried to figure out how to make his art into an editorial piece, but make it my own. And that's why this sort of very different thing turned up.
Yeah, it's cool. I see that style, that I also see a little bit of like that pop art influence, especially with like the colors and the font and the dots.
Definitely.
The dot work and the lines. It's very fun.
It sort of references Memphis style as well.
Yeah.
And then other than just design, I'm also an illustrator.
Oh, wait, does that suitcase exist?
Yeah, it does.
Shanti. I'm obsessed with luggage.
I just need to take this one moment to introduce my dog.
Oh, Archie, everyone. Look at this.
Best man.
Look at that little doll. He's so photogenic.
I know, he's perfect.
Did he get sponsored after that?
I mean, I feel like I should get him modeling gigs.
Oh, totally. So cute.
Uh-oh. Reload.
Nope,
there you go. Yeah, so I make really patterned,
so pretty,
often animals, vibrant sort of things like this. And what's really cool is that, you know, I've had the opportunity to make exhibitions.
Oh, wow.
That sort of wander around the world.
Oh my goodness. And this is in a mall where?
This was in Shanghai. So they have those mega malls, and created a really big experience, and there was like an LCD screen that played an alligator.
I love the like little swimming hole for the animal. Oh my god, this is just like Lion King bursted up into your mall and you're just having the best day ever. I can imagine what those kids were like thinking.
Yeah, I mean, even just for me, I made up that elephant, in my head, and then somebody created these guys life-size, and it's just wild to see people interacting with it.
Oh my God, how amazing.
Yeah, and then just children's books. So since then, just developing and releasing different books, all early learner sort of stuff, and coloring books.
I'm gonna have to get all of these for my many friends and their children, like the village auntie. So
I'm Auntie Shanti. That's my role.
See, your name is so good, Auntie Shanti.
Yeah, so that's basically me.
Marissa said, "So is there anything you can't do?"
Oh my
Good
God,
question.
so many things.
And people are asking if the dog's included.
Oh my gosh.
Uh-oh.
He's not. I love him so much.
Archie's famous now.
Awesome. I mean, should we just have a look at the brief today and let's see what we're doing?
Let's get started. There's so much exciting stuff going on. I feel like everybody's anticipating what the project is now.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I hope I delivered for you all.
Okay.
Okay, so we're going to start with the brief, and you all sort of know that it's going to be editorial. I'm going to just show you a snapshot of the aesthetic that we're going to be making, which is this.
Love it.
So, I mean, it's a psychedelic zine, it's 60s, it's lots of fun. We're looking for vibrant colors and lots of energy. So this is just where it's sort of going to go, and if you want to, follow along and join and make this with me, that'd be amazing.
It would be so interesting to see everyone's interpretation of that. Yeah, you guys should definitely, if you're into it, start working with us.
Yeah, I mean, the way we're going to make it is bit by bit. So we're going to have a toolkit, and then you can arrange however you want. So I'd love to see different variations.
Yeah, that'd be great.
So this is just a project outline. So we are making an illustrated zine, which has its own, issues and difficulties, but gorgeous things as well. So we don't have photos to, fill space and create energy, so we're going to do that with our own illustrations. I've called the zine series MIMIM, or MIMIM, which is Most Important Moments in Music. So the idea is that we could have lots of different issues, and we can look at different moments in musical history and have that aesthetic change. So, of course, this is the Woodstock edition. So we're going to have the psychedelic 60s stuff, and then, you could have something that's pop or, I don't know, like metal, anything, all that sort of fun stuff. We're going to do 16 pages. It's going to be letter size, which the size is just there. Zines are, historically something that's been created independently and on the cheap, so sticking with standard sizes can work, and you can do a lot of great things within standard sizes. And it's based on the article, The Complete Unadulterated History of 1969's Woodstock, by Marco Margaritoff, and it's in allthat'sinteresting.com. So if you are interested in this at all, go read that article while you're listening to me. It's amazing. It talks about all of the pitfalls beforehand, what happened actually there. Because I think we all know the name Woodstock, but maybe don't know why it was so important.
I feel like there's a lot of things that happened within that era, and Woodstock has a lot of different contexts. So it's nice that you have like that historical point in there so people can really dive deep into it.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And then just over on the left here, the focus. You just saw my folio, and pretty much everything I do, I use really simple techniques and tools to piece together something that's a bit more complicated. And I think, you don't need to look at all the fancy tricks to create really great design. So we're just going to look at that. So simple tools, making something that, looks a little bit timeless. Okay, so because we've only got an hour or so, I have done the research for us, just
Sweet.
Because organically it could take a little longer than what we've got. So when I start my research phase, I'm always looking for things that can spark that inspiration so that I can find visual references and ideas for what I might want to create. So I found these amazing things. So this is an original ticket from Woodstock itself, which is really cool. And we've got immediately graphic elements that can inspire. So we've got diagonal lines, we've got stars, we've got moons.
I love how all 3-day tickets are like a one stub and then you just like tear off.
Yeah.
How eco-friendly is that? Because now they
know.
do individual tickets.
They need to bring that back.
They do.
We have, of course, the original poster.
Very cool.
So, beautiful cutout type. We've got the dove turning up, guitars. Straight away, typography comes up.
Yeah.
So these both heavily feature sans serifs. And I did put these into Identifont or What the Font, and it came up with something close to Accidents Grotesque, which is used a lot in that time. So I'm thinking, maybe I can use that later on in my spreads. And then I have 4 other references which are photographic and maybe not as easy to figure out how to get inspiration from. But for me, so this one here is the guru's blessing that happened at Woodstock, which is a super interesting moment.
Wow.
But what I love about it is we've got this centralized figure, it's really symmetrical, and then we've just got this waves of crowds.
Yeah.
So I think we could definitely find, some graphics to go with that. The bumper-to-bumper traffic going in and out of Woodstock.
That's like a classic
right?
imagery from this time.
They basically stopped the whole town.
Yeah.
For days and days. So this wavy line becomes something that I can then interpret into my own work. And then lastly, this guy. It's a bit strange, but this is an aerial photo, and these are all people.
Oh,
so
wow, an aerial photo back then.
Yeah.
That's incredible, actually.
I know, because you think drone, but I don't know how they got, obviously a helicopter, I suppose.
Yeah. Oh, wow, look at all of that.
So it's like
people.
over 400,000 at least. Jeez. There's estimates that say a lot more.
Mm-hmm.
But what I love about it is we've got this sort of diamond-shaped stage area and then, all these people radiating out of it.
Yeah.
And I think that would be a really great thing to play off as well. Yes.
Very interesting how you're dissecting the photography and finding proportions and dimensions and all of these things that aren't super easy to catch, but
definitely.
Yeah, it's very almost like a scientific way of dissecting.
Yeah, I think I might be slightly analytical in this process.
Yeah, but it's great because you're finding things that one might not find, and then you're able to actually come up with something very, very authentic versus the obvious.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Oh, that's amazing to hear. In terms of what is true psychedelic though, this mood board.
Oh yeah, this is good.
This is all the icons of the era.
Pepsi Cola.
Yeah, I love this one so much. It's just so vibrant and beautiful. I'm loving, just the flower usage going on, and of course flower power. It's real symbolic.
It's a beautiful ad.
I know. I wish we could bring back a bit of this.
I know.
Yeah, we've got peace doves, sort of is optical illusions going on. And we saw stars and moons before, and now we see the sun. So celestial bodies in that era are really, really important. Oopsie. Then over here, actually with these two, Bonnie McLean and Wes Wilson, they did the Fillmore posters, which are really, really famous psychedelic works. But Bonnie passed away last week.
Oh, no.
And Wes Wilson passed away this year in January.
Oh, wow.
So it's been a really tough moment for this genre of work. But I think this goes to show that really great work lives beyond you and continues to inspire.
Totally.
For generations. 60 years later. So if you don't know who they are, have a look at Bonnie McLean and Wes Wilson because they're incredible. And then we've also got Milton Glaser, another great, Dylan poster, and the Delta Blues Band. These two specifically really got me. And I think just because they were doing something slightly different in that time.
Yeah.
And they were playing with, worlds within shapes. So within his pants and his arms, it's a whole other reality going on in there. And Dylan's sort of doing that with the hair and playing with dark and light. So this whole silhouette play thing is something that really brought me a lot of joy, and something that I'm going to try and create in my own way. And also on this guy, we don't love brown and mustards enough these days.
Oh, man.
Right?
I definitely do.
So I am just thinking, like, in terms of color palette,
Yeah.
this guy.
They
And
stand out.
I think if you're doing this at home, you don't need to do my palette at all. You can do very complementary colors, but sympathetic are incredible. And so I think this is where we're going to head with at least my palette.
I feel like everyone is really digging the era and just like the history behind it. And it seems like a lot of people have like a personal connection to it, which is awesome. It's nice to like, I'm like glancing at the chat and like seeing people share like stories or personal moments that kind of connect to this theme. So that's awesome.
That's great. I can see people is commenting about my name. Yeah, so that is Indian origin and does mean peace.
Nice.
Which kind of all comes together for this, I think.
I love that.
Yeah. Okay, so
Dustin.
we've done a bit of research and
Okay.
then we're going to have a look at the planning phase of this. So the first step is, pretty simple, but honestly it's just like the fundamental step. And that is I run the content itself out onto a page size that it's going to be produced in. So this is a letter document. I just ran it out at a body copy size font. So it was, I think, a 9.5 Helvetica. I just picked a default font, wasn't really thinking too much about it. And then I take it away from the computer and read the actual article, just so that you can fully understand what you're about to portray.
That's great.
And as I go, you make a few markings and because you can spatially see through columns how much type there is, you can start to put breaks into different spreads. So you can see here, I'm like, oh, I think this is like the first spread and going across, and there's like a bit of crossed out things because I got it wrong. Maybe I was going a bit too light on my copy on spreads, as designers like to do, and then I had to go back and add more content in.
Yeah. This is a very important step to note.
yeah.
I feel like I haven't seen this a lot in editorial design, where you're kind of like taking a step, like a pre-step before you even start like the visual concept.
Yeah.
It's really like, what is the content?
Yeah.
Like being able to understand and visualize that before like more of the design aspect of it, which is really cool.
Yeah, definitely. And this visualization beforehand is like exactly what I want people to know at this point. So you can sort of see here, this paragraph is talking about the long hairs descend upon upstate New York, and it's talking about the beatniks and hippies. And without worrying about where it's going to be used or what it looks like, you just draw visuals that connect to it.
Yeah,
so like the
that's
waves
brilliant.
and the hairs. And especially if you're working in a slightly abstract format like we are, a slightly abstract illustration, this really helps to spark, that illustration itself. Over here, we're talking a little bit, maybe I can zoom a little better, about their poor planning. And because of their poor planning prior to it, they made Woodstock free. So I thought like free as a bird, and then I sort of connected it back to the dove that we had seen, and I was like, somewhere on this spread maybe there's a dove.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, this is genius.
Thank you.
It really, just you reading through it, it's very helpful to visualize like what comes next.
Yeah,
So
definitely,
it's
because
awesome.
graphic design, it should always be intentional, I think.
Exactly.
That's always the hope. And throughout this, and maybe I'll put this up so people can read it a bit later, but there's stars and dawn and nighttime, and at one point it talks about the spiritual section of it, and I drew an eye for like the third eye idea.
Oh yeah.
So all of this is, in my mind, building something that is, a visual language.
Yeah, totally.
Awesome. And so from there, I've like written down my visual language to keep my head in gear, and then just done some sketches. And my deep dark secret is I cannot draw for an Illustrator. So some
I don't believe it.
some
But
dodgy
I won't judge.
sort of thumbnails. So then I've got, these incredible like mishmash ideas. I really like this one down the corner, and then just decided to see whether I could draw it in a little bit more detail. And for me, that's all I need to then jump onto Illustrator, which is what we'll do just in a second. I know some people put a lot more detail in and might like go in and fill all of the Woodstock letters and bring in that psychedelic vibe, but I just need a rough plan.
Yeah.
And then likewise, I did the inside spreads as well, and you can sort of see the dove spread and the beatnik spread, and it's all sort of making sense just from the research, hopefully.
It's all tying together, especially it helps with the sketches that you made in relation to like the actual like the words and just like the story.
Yeah.
It does bring it all together, which is, I don't know why I'm like, oh, this is so like crazy. Like maybe because I've never seen someone start that way, it's awesome. It's genius.
Okay, that makes me feel great.
Yeah, we're so close to chat and win, guys. Oh my gosh, the time is flying.
Awesome.
Maybe we'll cover a little bit more, and then it'll be just in time for chat and win. So make sure you guys are present and ready to start chatting so you could win Sticker Mule stickers.
Awesome. Okay, well, I guess in the next little 3 minutes, we'll just do the setup of the document. We're going to today focus on the Illustrator side of it, building those graphics, and then tomorrow we'll look at the actual editorial side of it all. So I'm going to just create a new document. For me, it doesn't really matter what size right now because I'm going to use the canvas as an entire universe.
That's the beauty of Illustrator and working in vector. It doesn't matter as much.
It doesn't really. And I'm maybe old school in this, but I love the interface to be all white just so that I don't feel boxed in.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I might just place in my sketch so that we have something to work off. Let's have a look.
Osborne, I think we are working mainly in desktop. Am I correct?
Oh.
Someone asked if we were using a drawing tablet.
No, it's all going to be desktop.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not very good at drawing tablets,
really?
Or I don't have a lot of experience with them.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm kind of surprised
I should play
by
with
that. Yeah.
Definitely. Cool. So I've just placed in the sketch itself. And one way to approach this is to start trying to make all of these ingredients, in this actual layout and composition. But instead, because I know I want to reuse these elements later on in the actual editorial, I'm going to create each little thing separate and then compose them at the end.
That makes sense.
Yeah, awesome. So the first thing, and I sometimes just pick the easiest thing to deal with, just to get like the juices going, is just like these diagonal lines. So I'm going to just start drawing some lines themselves, 45-degree angle ones. Maybe I'll zoom in so people can see it. Cool. And just start spacing them out, and with Command D, replicating them as much as I need. And I'm going to make more than I need. Obviously, there's only 4 or 5 there, but that's how many I might need later on. So I have maybe a non-conventional way to use the shape builder tool, which I'm going to show.
Okay.
So I'm just going to create a bit of a boundary box because the shape builder tool likes to know its parameter so that it can actually build a shape. So I've just put a box on, and there's definitely some excess because if there's any gaps between it, it really doesn't register. And I might bring in my palette. So I'm going to select all unused and delete these swatches because I'm not going to use them for the moment. And I have created an ASE. So I'm going to open up a swatch palette that I'd already made before, which I think is an amazing thing that the programs do, that you can save a palette and load a palette.
So useful, especially if you have a theme of, colors or that you tend to gravitate towards for your portfolio.
Definitely.
So easy to just drag that in.
Yeah, so I've just dragged them in, and they are all just based off PMS swatches, but they have roughly been inspired by the Delta Blue album cover. So with all of that selected, I'm going to go Shift M for my shape builder tool, and I'm going to select a color and just start actually painting it in.
And at that thought, we are at Chat and Win. So we're going to take a quick break. Make sure you guys give us shout outs, tell your neighbors hi, send us an emoji, and then we'll be back with a winner. I'm excited to see who the winner is. Let's see what people were saying in the chat. So normally we get a lot of random words that come out of this or random emojis. So,
okay.
Oh, heart eyes, a little ghost emoji. Hi, yay, pew pew.
Pew.
Oh, I love it. Jordan, we're in here together. I love pew pew pew. Let's see who our winner is gonna be.
Yeah, Ellen.
I'm excited. Do you make stickers?
I have made stickers. I've got a sticker book.
You have a sticker? Oh my God, you've done it all. Kelly O'Connell. Congrats, Kelly. Do we know Kelly?
I think Kelly's an ex-student of mine.
Oh, well, congratulations, Kelly. You are the winner. You have won Sticker Mule stickers, so you can use one of your lovely designs that maybe you've created in Shanti's class and then make stickers and then send us one so we can like sport it on our laptops or something. And if you didn't win, it's okay. You still get a promo, so just do stickermule.com/Adobe Live 20 and you will get something as well. And yeah,
Awesome.
congrats again.
Yeah.
All right, let's get back into this.
Yeah, so just a little bit more painting and creating shapes. So it's a little bit hard to see as I'm doing this right now. So let's get a different color. But every time I'm clicking, a new shape is created. So it's going from lines to actual objects. And I think this is just skipping a little bit of the live paint tool.
Yeah,
Yeah, just 2 steps at once.
I love that.
Yeah.
Deep mustard.
Yeah, so I'm definitely not doing it in any particular pattern, but just to get some visual balance there.
It's okay. Everyone has their hacks
Yeah.
in Illustrator, I find.
So then with like my direct select, I'm just getting rid of the excess. Like that. And now just, you have all of these incredible shapes ready to use however you need to. Yeah, so I might actually keep them all together for now and just group them and bank that for later use.
Yep.
Yeah, so that technique there of just creating lines and then painting in with the shape builder, that's what we're going to do on repeat, but just with more complex shapes as we keep going. Okay, so looking back over here, maybe having a look at the wavy lines. Oh, little new document coming up. These wavy lines and seeing how to create wavy lines. So I think in InDesign, it's a little bit more obvious. There's a drop down for that.
Yeah.
So I'll just go P for pen tool. I'm gonna draw a line. And then I'm gonna go up to Effect and Distort and Transform. And kind of not intuitively go to Zig Zag, even though we're making a wave.
A lot of people end up defaulting to twist, which is
Oh,
interesting.
Amazing.
I mean, it could still work, but
Definitely. Oh,
Zig
actually, I've
Zag.
left a fill on there, which will look a bit strange. So let's get rid of that.
Zigzag.
Zigzag tool, which is one of my favorite tools. And you have a lot of control about how much zigzags and how many points you're going to have within 2 anchor points. The trick is just to put it on smooth and you get lots of control.
You have noodles, you have
Yeah, so,
Waves.
rough seas,
curls.
calm seas. Yeah.
Possibilities.
So just going to, I don't know, maybe somewhere about there. Something like that, whatever you feel looks right for what you're doing. And go okay. I might zoom out. And object, I'm just going to expand appearance because right now it's a line with an effect on it. And if you go into the Command Y view, can you see that? It's like the preview of what you've actually drawn. And it's still looking like a straight line. So I'll Command Y out and it's a wavy line. So it's, Illustrator's still reading it as a straight line. But I want it to stop reading it as a straight line with an effect. So I'm just going to go to Object and Expand Appearance. And you'll see if I go into Command Y now, it's now seeing it as a wavy line. So sometimes you just need to do that to move on to the next step. So I'm going to do just similar to what we did before. So selecting it, drawing it, and then going Command D to create a little bank of them. And then giving yourself some boundaries, just like that. And Shift M for the shape builder. And I'm just gonna start painting into it, which is basically the most fun job.
Do you have a strategy for how you're distributing the colors, or do you just kind of go off of
No,
experiment?
I don't think there is a particular strategy. I think when I looked at the 60s things, they weren't in exact patterns, and I think there was a little freedom to them.
I like that. That's cool.
Yeah, I mean, because I'm applying it just straight away just to get the shape, later on when I compose it, if I'm like, oh, that's really not working, I'll change the colors then. But if you get bogged down at this point, it's, you lose some flow. Cool. So then I'm gonna just remove the excess once more. Cool, and I've made some more assets to play with. One other one which is a bit fun is combining this with the blend tool. So I might draw a line, get some, oopsie, I'll get rid of that fill. Maybe just apply the zigzag that we had before. Oops. Cool, and then I'm going to expand appearance and then just also draw a straight line. And then I want to see whether I can get a little bit of an effect where we go from the straight line to the curvy line.
Oh, yeah.
Which plays into lots of those really cool ideas in the editorial about like the mud and the sunrise and all of that sort of stuff. So I'm clicking from one to the other. Whoa.
We see that when it's coming out of the page, right? Or like, I think I saw it in
Yeah,
the original
I've
sketch.
definitely got some sunrise sort of change things going on. So for me, that's maybe a bit too many and maybe a little too complex. So I might just change that up and say maybe 10. Yeah, something like that, just to match sort of what we were doing there. And the cool thing is, obviously, you can move it up to visually get a better match, and it just all sort of works for you. Cool. So I might expand that one again, and you can go ahead and paint that and do the same thing. Cool. All right, what's another fun one? So we could do the type package, or we could look at some flower making, make some eyes. What do you guys want to see?
Eyes, flowers,
Type package.
Let's see. Let's get a quick poll. Really quick. I feel like people are going to say the eye or flowers.
Yeah, the flowers are fun.
Yeah. Come on. Crowd participation.
That's all right. I think flowers. Yeah. Perfect.
Thanks, Marissa. Oh, see, flowers. Two votes.
Some flowers. Honestly, it's possibly my favorite as well.
Now we got eyes. Flowers are still winning, so we're going to go with flowers.
Perfect.
Good job. Thanks, everyone.
Okay, so flowers, I start with stars to make flowers. So that's your general straight off one, but I'm going to make a custom one where I have a few more points to it. So maybe like 10 points. Let's have a look. Something like that, maybe even more complex. So, just by clicking once, you get given a few more options. Cool. And then I'm going to zoom on in. And I want to use live corners to make the flower part of it, but if you click once, you'll just get one. So we're going to go all the way around and select these guys. Just with A tool and hitting shift. Direct select tool. And then we're going to bring them in and make a cute flower.
Everyone's always if they're not a super Illustrator user, they're always so happy with that, making a flower. It's so satisfying.
I love making the flowers.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been doing this for 10 years and I think it's still my favorite thing.
Cute.
Yeah, so I mean, with this one, especially if you're playing with it at home, you're just trying to go for that 60s vibe, which is a little bit geometric. There's a lot of round sort of circle things going on. Something like that. So that's like a good start. I do a lot of rapid creations, so if you've got something that looks like it's a flower and it's working for you, move on to the next one, copy and paste it over and leave that where it's at. Let's see.
I feel like it's a carnation. Is it a carnation?
Oh yeah, maybe.
What was the flower in that decade? I feel like there was a particular flower that was like the flower, but I can't remember.
Just trying to find one of these little tools. Okay. So what we might do from here is, just because we've got zigzags going on in our visual language that's coming up, let's try and get some zigzags in here. So using the zigzag tool once again, but this time keeping it corners are not smooth. So we want a few, and we maybe want them smaller, like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Your alignment tools are the best things for these. Maybe a sunflower? Something.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and then you can sort of start to add some color to them so that you can see the effect that it's going to give.
Ooh, I love the two yellows against each other. They're so nice.
Yeah.
Or three yellows.
Well, I think, yeah, we've got
That
sort of a peachy as well coming in. Oh, lots more. Then with this one, perhaps, what we could end up doing if we zoom on in.
How many variations of flowers are you going for?
I'm not sure, but I mean, the thing is, you can definitely get lost in this process.
Oh, yeah.
I've lost hours of flower making life. I think I'll just show like the basics of most of the flowers that you'll see, and then at home you guys can create all the amazing other ones as well. So I'm just creating a little bit of division. And it's my hope with this one is to sort of cut the flower up so we can get some more complexity going on.
Yeah.
Maybe zoom in.
And while you're doing that, I will give another shout out that we will be doing design feedback for the Illustrator Daily Creative Challenge in a little over 45 minutes. So if you have any really cool pieces that you've been working on either today or this morning, make sure you submit at the challenge tab up above, and we'll give you some feedback.
Yeah, I'm excited to see them.
Yeah. Maybe you can incorporate some of your flowers, like your own flowers or any things that we've already created into your work, and see how that plays out. That'd be cool.
I've just realized I've created an odd number, so I can't divide it. But that's all right. I'll maybe show just an abridged version of it.
You've started a thread of flower puns.
Oh, really? What have we got?
I can't see the original one, but now there's a pun about the flower puns would be very bud, and then I'll say it once in floral, no more puns. There's just like, where did this come from? I guess that pun was bouquet.
Punishment.
Oh, you guys are funny. I certainly rose to the occasion. There's always something funny happening in chat. We always come up with these clever things to banter about.
Oh.
See, now we need to see all of these rose flower things come through in your daily creative challenge submissions. I want to see it now.
Definitely.
We've hyped it up. Oh, I like this one.
Yeah, so they're just a simple little one. I abandoned ship on the other one because I realized I had an odd number, which wasn't going to help me.
Uh-oh, okay.
So let's
That's all right.
try it again with something simpler. So I'm just trying to hit those points. Don't worry about having excess going on either side of it. Cool, so you get something a little bit like this.
Fun.
And we're going to use the shape builder again, so Shift M, and just going through and painting them. But this time you get more options of how you can paint and where you can paint.
Flower puns are still going. Hey, Daisy, what's so funny here? Leave Shanti alone. I'm just pawing your leg. Oh my goodness, I can't. This is
Oh my gosh.
all of you must be like copywriters or professional joke tellers.
Cool. So now we've got maybe 3 variants, and you can sort of see that you could really like go to town with this and make them more exciting and bigger and smaller and all that sort of stuff. Cool. So maybe from flowers, we'll have a look at maybe the type now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's go for it.
So what I was saying before with this thumbnail is that I've sort of made that shape, so I know roughly what sort of space I want it to take up, but I definitely didn't put much effort into what that type is going to look like. So I've done a little bit of research, and there's a font called Psychedelic, which is incredible.
Fitting.
Which I'll just write Woodstock.
Was the original poster, was it an all cap? I can't remember. I love the all cap.
I'm not sure. Let's have a look. I know it was paper cutouts. Yeah, it is all caps.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
I love that.
Okay, so we're gonna zoom on in. Make this bigger. So, I mean, it's already very cool.
I love that.
Like, it's an incredible.
So good. That would look great on the back of a t-shirt.
Yeah, and it's got, those really cool fat feet going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Looks like the K is wearing platform heels.
Yeah, it's kind of gone into the disco era.
Yes.
So with this, I intend to warp it. So just with Woodstock selected, up here, this little guy, make envelope. You can do all sorts of really fun stuff, which is really great. Lots of different options. What I'm going to use is the arc lower tool, and I'm going to invert it just to sort of match my sketch. And you can see that when you automatically use it, it squashes the type, so you have to correct it optically afterwards. So I would just do that and correct it. But I actually want to edit this and customize this a bit more than just that.
Okay.
So I want to the idea is to thread a rainbow through the bottom of the feet of the type.
Very cool.
Okay.
Loving it.
And to do that, I think I need actually thicker serifs down the bottom. So I'm going to undo this bit for now and just copy this. And I'm going to hit Command-Shift-O to outline it. So it's no longer type, it's actually just outlines, which gives you a lot more control. And I'm going to select the base of it.
And you thread it in before you warp it.
Well, actually, I think you could probably do it both ways.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So I'm going to elongate it a little bit. And I know that with curves, that can cause a little bit of distress to the type. So just going back and helping that out a little bit, smoothing those curves so that they're not disjointed. maybe fixing just one of the O's and then replacing all the rest. Thankfully, because a lot of that area did have paper cutout type, it doesn't actually have to be perfect. But just getting those curves a little bit better. Gotta pop up. So maybe we'll replace these two. Have a look at this sad looking S. It's got a funny little belly.
Oh, it does.
So we'll fix her up. Cool. And then maybe just the C, just getting that slightly...
Made a little more chunky.
Yeah. She got a bit bottom heavy.
That's good. We like that.
Okay, cool. So I might just leave that there for now, but definitely you could spend a lot of time finessing. So I'm going to duplicate again. And the little shortcut to it disappears once it's an object, but that's okay. You can just find it in envelope to store it and make with warp and do it anytime you want. So I'm going to say that's looking okay for me. And we'll just stretch her back down a little bit. Also, now I've got like lots of room in this black space to do some, fun stuff, which is threading this rainbow through. So I'm going to start by just drawing a line, and then just with Shift C, being able to bring that bend up. And I'm just trying to match the base of the type a little bit. I'll get rid of that fill. Actually, let's put a brighter color on so that people can see it. Cool. And I'm going to move that just into my type, because that's going to be one level of the rainbow. Get this palette away. Somewhere there, and then I'm going to bring up another one. And just squash it a little bit because you want it to have a bit of perspective. And to get a third one right in the middle of that, I'm going to use my blend tool. I use this one quite a lot. So between there and there, I get that middle arc perfectly done for me. Awesome. So with these two, I just need to expand or flatten them so that I can play with them a bit more. And then it's just the fun part again, which is Shift M and painting. So I'm gonna go through with yellow and paint them. This one, maybe I'll have a little bit more of an idea of how I want those colors to go.
Yeah, it's already looking so fun.
So we'll create little reverse gradients, I think. Oops, tried to get pink. Like that. And then we'll maybe do the other way. Bringing in that brown, which is awesome.
And this color palette is just perfect for this.
Thank you. Yeah,
So
I really love it. And I feel like it's so forgiving.
Yeah.
You can't go wrong putting any of the colors next to each other. Yeah, it's really freeing. And so then I will put my strokes to black because I just made them to yellow. And you can sort of start to see the type package that we've got. And then just removing all of the excess little strokes.
So fun.
Yay.
This looks great, right, everyone? Everyone's like, very cool.
Aw.
Thanks, Sasha. Anthony. Anthony says, do you host your own studio tour?
Me? Oh.
Good idea. Yes?
I don't.
You gotta do it now. Expectations are high.
But I definitely love people, and I'll be at lots of different events and happy to take any questions, especially from students and graduates. I have a big heart for them.
Oh, I love
and
that.
Yeah, it can be difficult out there in the industry.
Oh, yeah.
For new designers. So any support and advice that I can lend a hand, yeah, definitely there for it.
Where can people contact you on your website?
Yeah, let's see. So if you go to the contact section, me and my dog.
So cute.
Yeah, just like knowing that I have a fairly open door policy for people who are at my school or just any school at all. And I have a student Q&A because I do get a lot of requests of people needing help with projects and interview projects, which I definitely love. But the frequently asked questions I've collected so that if you need those ones specifically, you can go and find them.
Yeah.
Which is my first piece of advice right there, is don't work for free.
Yes. Yes. And that is so important for students to know.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So you can read through any of that, and definitely my contact deets are just there for you guys.
Brilliant to have the FAQ.
Yeah, definitely.
Very, very smart.
All right.
Oh,
so
thanks for posting that, Tim. Tim is one of our amazing moderators, and he's always quick and has
with
all
a link,
the good answers. So thank you, Tim.
I appreciate it. Cool. So we've got our type package. We've got a few elements going on. I think the last thing that we need to create for this is the eye.
Yes.
Which I guess is the focal point.
I think we're all excited for that. You have a question. In what way has your New Zealand Kiwi background influenced you and inspired your work?
Wow, that's a big question.
Yeah.
I mean, like, Kiwi culture is like amazing, and it's a really vibrant community, an artistic community, especially with its heritage as well. I probably would say a lot of the pattern making things that you see in the art has, like, you know, seeped into my soul, and I do a lot of that. And even just the way that a lot of animals are depicted and drawn, I feel like that's definitely come into a lot of my art side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I definitely see that, especially in like your illustration for the children's books, and that's a huge, seems like a huge inspiration to you, which is, I love that as like a focal.
Yeah.
It's really great.
No, I mean, it's a great thing. And my fun fact about New Zealand is that I was born in Hamilton, which I think is the place where they shot The Hobbit.
Oh, really?
It's the Shire.
Ah,
yeah.
That's a good fun fact.
I am a Hobbit.
You should put that on your website.
Yeah.
In your bio. Designer, creator, educator, Hobbit,
Shire inhabitor. Yeah.
I love like those little quirky things.
Yeah, I think that's always my fun fact in the get to know you games.
Yes.
Okay, so the eye is going to start with a circle. So once again, using those simple tools, we're going to use Shift-C. What is that called? The anchor point tool. I think I know the tools more by their shortcuts than their names.
I like make up my own names for them at this point. Like I sometimes call that the TP tool because it's like a little TP.
Oh yeah, okay.
But you know, we all have our own way.
There.
As long as you know what it's used for.
Definitely. Then I'm going to click on two sides, two anchor points, just to create, you know, that shape of an eye. And obviously we need to make it a little bit more
and also
eye-shaped.
A lemon.
A lemon. Yes.
Lemon.
Perfect. So that's sort of like the start of our eye. Cool. I'm going to go Command C and Command F. So I've just made another version of it. And then I'm going to once again go to my Zig Zag tool, which is my favorite tool. And we're just going to, because it's that central figure with the radiating things out, so we're trying to get that sun radiating out, or the crowd, whatever you sort of interpret it as. So we want some smaller ones and a lot more of them. Maybe something like that, just a little bit smaller.
Beck wanted to shout out that you have so much in common, and she's an Australian who is now living in New Zealand. So
Oh, cool.
representation.
Yeah, I went the other way. I'm one of the Kiwi-born Australians.
I love it. Thanks for shouting that out, Beck. It's always nice to have someone you can relate to on both ends.
Definitely. So I'm just resizing the Zig Zag just to be a little bit bigger than the eye itself. I'm also going to expand appearance again because I want to be able to edit it a bit more. So something roughly like this, and these little extra bits, they're not really what I want, so I'm going to edit that. Going in, and just minusing that point, maybe minusing one more, and we're going to make this sort of meet in the center. We'll do the same on the other side, so just minusing a point, and with A tool, meeting it in the center roughly. Oops. Something like that. I just shift C to make sure there's no curve going on. Okay, so we have our basic sort of shape, and then from here we're going to object, path, and offset path, and just start growing it out. So maybe something like that.
Wingtips are out.
Yeah. It makes such a cool shape the more you go with it. Path, offset path. Cool, and now we're making sort of that central focus.
Yeah, that radiation coming around it is really cool. With the first two, it looked kind of like some really fun lashes.
Yeah.
And then now it's becoming so full and it's doing things to my eyes.
Oh my god, I think that's what the psychedelic movement's about.
Yeah, it's making me trippy right now.
So just because it's always the fun bit, let's add some colors. When you use offset path, it's automatically a shape, so you don't need to, paint with the shape builder at all. So let's make that eye white so that we can see it. Oh, where did he go? Maybe we'll go back. There. This guy. There we go. And then add some colors.
Fun.
So just know the layers will be opposite to what you need them to be, so as you add a color, just send to the back. Ooh, we got a funny little thing going on here. Ah, there's a box.
Uh-oh. Where'd that come from?
I don't know.
Oh, it's a rogue shape.
Away with you. I think it could just be my scan, actually.
Oh, it might be.
Yeah, it's the white from my scan hiding it.
I don't remember creating that.
Move it around. Cool. So, that's already a really cool focal point, right, to play with.
That's awesome.
And then I might just copy it because I might want to use that as a whole later on. So I definitely feel like, banking all of those elements. Cool. And then we'll draw some circles on the inside.
Already looks so cool. It has me thinking about, because Mardi Gras started yesterday. Yesterday was Fat Tuesday, and some of my family is from New Orleans, and this would be such a cool mask.
Nice.
Just that. And I'm like, I would totally sport that. It's so cool.
And I know we definitely have only one iris, but I've given us two.
It's okay. Just more dimension, more of all the things.
More fun. All right, we've got a little eye going on.
Love it. Now it's really tripping me out because I'm staring right into it.
Yeah, and I mean, it's really you're starting to see how you've got this kit of parts everywhere. Yeah, so you can start putting them together. I mean, maybe the last little bit I'll show is just So this diamond is actually that stage area that I talked about earlier. That's what that shape's meant to be mimicking.
Oh, yeah, from the aerial shot.
Yeah, so that diamond stage, and then just that the crowd is sort of there, the mud is sort of there.
Oh my God, I'm seeing it all now. That's so crazy.
And it has, you know, the roots of the hippie, you know.
It's just brilliant to like see how all of those like really minor or like intricate details have come together like that.
Yeah.
So cool. Even the mud.
Yeah, the mud, of course.
Genius.
I think it was such a big part of it.
So cool.
So we've got something like that. And just because with this one, I don't really need the bottom zigzags, I might cut them off. But we've got that. Do we have that? Let's make sure we copied and pasted and duplicate it. Ungroup it.
Anthony, I thought so too. He also co-signed for my masquerade mask idea with the eye.
Oh my gosh, free to use, guys. If I see them at Mardi Gras, I'll be very proud.
Yes. We all come together like a little tribe with the same mask.
So I've just got the bottom half of the zigzag selected, and I've drawn a line. With the shape builder tool, once more, if you're hitting option, you can delete. So it's an adding tool and a subtracting tool.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just going to hit option, and I'm going to start deleting those bottom ones. Just very simple, nice way to cut in one smooth way.
Now, does it help when after you've created the assets and you layer it over the sketch? Is that how you build it?
I do. That is how I build it. And, you know, I think you could come in here and, like, specifically do each bit separately, but I really like to just, like, have a go at them first and then build it a little bit later.
Yeah, it's a good reference, and it's also nice to see if you do kind of go off of the beaten path a little bit to see where you started and then where you end up.
Definitely.
To further refine.
The sketches should always be a guide and not a straitjacket, you know?
Exactly.
It's definitely just there to help you on your way, but it's you don't need to, like, be so stringent with it.
Yeah. Marissa says, looks like fabulous eyelashes. That's what I was thinking.
So I'm just drawing the diamonds for the stage with the square tool and then warping them. Nothing too fancy with that one. Duplicating it out. A lot of paste in front and dragging out with options just to keep that central point. Maybe one smaller one, which is kind of this infinity pool idea.
Yeah. I can totally see this as a stage design.
Oh my gosh.
A festival now.
Woodstock, if you want to talk. Although I'm not sure they're running them anymore.
No, there's some other ones that are pretty close. Give us a call.
Yeah, for sure. This is up for grabs. So the idea in my sketch was to have sort of like the pupil disappearing into an infinity pool. So I'm going to just start with a rectangle that connects them. Might get rid of our stroke or make it black. Zooming on in. We're just going to expand this a little bit. Actually, maybe just keeping the same horizontal for now.
Mm-hmm.
Dragging down, and I'm going to select the first diamond and that thing I just made, the UFO abduction thing, and option and get rid of the black like that.
Awesome.
So then it's just starting to create that illusion that that eye is dripping down into the stage. Yeah, so that's, I think, probably one of the last little tech bits of it. Oh, except for maybe a pattern, because we've got, I want to introduce stars and galaxies to it.
Oh, yes.
So with that one, I'm just going to do stars really simply with actually maybe we'll start it here so that we get the right size. So they don't really need a stroke, but we're just, maybe a little bit bigger than that. And I think we might have some colored stars, or maybe they're planets.
I love that you're using not the star shapes for
No.
the stars.
I know.
I love it.
They're going to be little speckles.
Yes.
Different little sizes. So first I'm just going to like make a general arrangement, just so that I can see if the stars are working or not. And then I will create it to a pattern swatch so that it's just a lot easier to access and use later on. You might want a few like group clusters.
This might be a good time to mention we are a little over 16, 17 minutes away from your design challenge reviews. So if you haven't already, start submitting your work through the challenge tab at the top of Behance, and we will review those. And maybe we'll see some flowers in there, some of the other fun shapes that you've created.
And the flower puns.
Yes. Maybe an eye if you're that quick. That'd be pretty cool too.
You guys can do it.
Yeah. The clock starts now. Well, it's been on, but you know. We're excited.
Oh my gosh, that comment, I'd be scared if my eye started leaking and cracked up with sparkles. I think you would be.
The chat is so silly today. I love it. Everybody's in the psychedelic mood right now.
Yes, so the sparkly, leaky eye stuff, I'm going to move it off to the side. And all the little white stars I'm going to make black for now, just so I can see them.
They're little Dippin' Dots.
Yeah. I'm going to select them. Go to Pattern and Make. We'll go OK. And it'll automatically come up with something that is often a little too regular for what you need.
Mm-hmm.
But there's all of these amazing editing functions that you can do. So you can make the canvas a little bit bigger, and often just a little bit of space and breathing helps you. You might decide that you actually need a few more little bits, or you want to space them out a bit more. Something like that. There is different grid formations as well. So you can shift it a little bit. Maybe like that. That kind of works.
Yeah. I like the clusters and then more of the empty space towards the top. Like all the variations.
Definitely. So you kind of, I mean, it's meant to look not so patterned in the way that we're using it.
Right.
Yeah.
Not super uniform.
Yeah, definitely. So before I save it, I'm just going to make sure all my stars that I'm using are white again, because that's how I'll need it. And then I should have a pattern swatch here called New Pattern, which I'll call Stars. And the really great thing about that is so you can draw any sort of shape. Oh, I wonder if we can even do it with the type package. Command C, Command F, and then apply that pattern. And now we've got stars inside the Woodstock itself.
Oh, fun.
Yeah. So you can put it anywhere.
That's a good question. I'm not sure, Joseph. Can you randomize the pattern?
Oh, I'm not sure.
sure.
I would love to know if you can.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
If any of
Is it maybe in the settings for, let's see. I think we'd have to go back and then maybe it could be in the drop down there. It could be like a randomization.
Let's have a look.
type.
I definitely use it if that's a thing there.
Maybe not, but great idea.
Good thinking.
I'm gonna keep that in my idea book.
That's a good feature to have for sure.
Yeah, that would be great. Even if it's like only a few variations, that would still be super useful.
Yeah. So I've actually got a little bit of a cheat document. Replace.
Ooh.
Revealing some things.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my gosh, things are coming.
We weren't supposed to see those.
Just ignore that. No. Cool. I've got a bit of a cheat document with all of the things that we've just sort of made here so that it's a little bit more of a plug and play so you can see what we're doing. So like you were saying before, just like pulling it all together and placing it into the canvas. So with this one, it is actually making it the letter size so that you're getting something a little bit closer to what you need.
Right.
So we've got our little radiating things. Maybe I'll put in my eye. That's a weird out of context thing to say.
Let me put in my eye
Yeah.
this morning. I might need it. And your infinity pool.
My infinity pool.
That's so satisfying for some reason, that
Yeah.
illusion.
I know, it's
so good.
It is definitely very trippy. So with the flowers, we got just 3 flowers actually in the end, putting them all together. I like that idea. It kind of is like a daisy chain.
Mm-hmm.
We got to get our waves in. Somewhere there. We've got some angles. Start getting things a bit more locked into place. Make sure things are aligned. Oops. Cool, so that's pretty close to where we're going.
Okay.
And then I'm going to just add a bit more of a background for the bottom part of it.
I was going to ask, did we cover the background with the strokes and what that's going to look like?
So that actually won't necessarily be strokes. That's more me just showing dark and shade.
Okay.
So I'll show you what I have in mind perhaps, which is something like this, where it becomes its own little container.
Oh, okay.
And using like stars that we had created.
To fill in the space.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
And it just becomes a little bit more locked up. And so this definitely, can take a little bit of time to get everything collected. So I thought I would pre-plan it for you all.
Perfect.
Yeah. Getting some more stars in. And so that's
Love the stars.
sort of our front cover.
Oh my gosh, so amazing.
Yeah. And so, I guess with just the time we have remaining, we could make some more of those assets that I just sort of flicked up before.
Yeah.
So I might place in, whoopsie. Let's see. Maybe the dove, the peace dove?
Yeah, I feel like that one looks like one of the more complex ones, and then the peace sign.
Yeah. Let's
Yeah.
try and do the dove and the peace sign because I think we can probably do them fairly quickly.
Yeah, and we might have a little bit of time after design
nice.
feedback too.
Awesome. Okay, so this is my, fairly dodgy sketch, but it's all I really need to create this. So I might just start with the one wing, and I'm using my pen tool just to create the general shape.
Andreas asked, how do you come up with these sketches and drawings?
Well, a lot of it is to do with that pre-planning and that reading. So one of the things we teach at Shillington is something called Define, Describe, Visualize, where you get a word, you define what it means really, describe it in other words, and then just visualize it using marks. And I think that's a process that I really, really use.
Yeah.
So, yeah, learning to visually see an idea.
Very cool. I like that. I'm going to try it.
Okay, oh, maybe we'll put it in another color so we can see. Okay, so we've got one bit of the wing. Then we'll create another bit.
Did you do the original sketch in a pen? Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, I was like, this is darker.
It was Sharpie.
I love drawing in Sharpie.
It's because you have to be confident when you do it. I feel like sometimes when I draw in pencil, like I'm intimidated and I think too much, whereas with pen, it's like you commit and go.
That's true, because the pencil's more forgiving because you can erase it.
Yeah.
And so that's actually a good, like, mind trick.
Yeah. Because, you know, it is a pre-sketch. It doesn't really matter if it doesn't turn out so well, so it's just like, go for it.
Yeah.
Okay, so I've got a bit of wings, and what I might do is borrow from some of my zigzags that I already have. So let's move this off so we can see what we're working with. We have some strange looking curves going on. Let's fix them up. Like that. And then let's see if we can work the zigzags in a little bit more. So we might need to blow them up to get some better scale.
Joseph says, I love that you have a process of making the parts and putting it together after.
Yeah, definitely. It's a time saver. And I think design in branding is definitely going to that whole visual kit. Well, it is a visual kit idea, but I think we forget that with editorial and smaller works. But it's just a really efficient way to work.
Was this process like a trial and error for you, and then this became kind of like your default, or did you always have it in mind how you would start from beginning to end?
I don't think I would have come to it with full clarity at all. And definitely it's just like trying things out and being like, actually that was quicker.
Yeah.
You know?
Trial and error, always. So you find something that just kind of works and is natural.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so I'm kind of, I've exploded that shape that I made prior, and now just with my shape builder, once again, I'm gonna like get rid of the bit that I don't need, and I've got some cool sort of sparks going on in that wing, and then we're gonna start painting again, which is obviously the best part. Ooh. And then making sure we've got all the strokes black. And we've made like a pretty cool wing.
So fun.
So we can go place that on top of our bird. Maybe we'll do the second wing just like that because it's pretty much based on it.
And then send it back.
Send it back. Oh, too far. Behind the sketch.
Come back.
Come back, my friend.
Come forward. There you go.
Done. All right. So I might just move them over and then have a look at the actual bird itself. So yeah, just once again, pen tool. Oh, I need a much prettier color so we can see. Doing the body. Reset that one. Because that's hidden, you don't really need to worry about what that looks like behind the wing. Move it off and just like smooth out any areas that you think maybe his noggin.
He needs a bigger noggin.
Be a bit rounded. Definitely. Maybe he needs a little bit more beak or whatever you feel it needs. And then happy with that. Just knowing that I originally thought maybe we should have some tummy stripes.
Oh yeah, I love that.
Just a way to connect it, you know, visually to the wings as well. And I'm not really worried that they're not matching up. Bring that over. And if you see the lines are looking a little strange, just fix them up. Then I'm going to paint away. And make sure the strokes are black. Awesome. Might make that stroke a little bit less to match the rest. Okay, so we've sort of got half of our little bird. So this is when like changing color helps. The purple, I'd already chosen that there. So maybe that's not the right one to pop there. Something like that. And then looking at the tail. So actually the tail is a little bit built off this guy. So just like reusing assets again, so it's a more complex form of it.
Work smarter, not harder.
Yeah, definitely. So how many do we need? So I just want a little section of it, so I'm just sort of drawing in where I'm going to cut off. Remove the rest. And we've got a little bit of a tail. So we can just pop behind. Maybe we'll make that one a little bit bigger. Just clean up any extra little bits that come in. Sometimes when you're dealing with lots of shapes, that'll pop up. Cool, and we've got roughly our bird sketch sort of sorted out there, and we've got another element. So this is an element that I want to use tomorrow when we're actually in the editorial typesetting stage of it, but I'll keep it here for now. And then maybe we'll just have a look at bringing in the hand, the peace sign one.
Yeah. You have 30 seconds.
Okay, well I'll place it in and then we'll do it afterwards. It's definitely based off my very weird stubby hands.
No. That looks accurate.
Yeah, right?
I remember when that was such a thing.
Yeah.
Everybody's like, peace.
I think it's still a go-to move
Yeah.
when I'm feeling awkward in photos.
Oh, yeah. Then there's like the slanted one. Just, man, history repeating itself, like always. Okay.
Oh, we're here.
We are here, and it is time. Let me pull up our submissions. Let's see what you guys have done. So it looks like we had a lot of people that were catching up on day 5's challenge and yesterday's challenge. So let's just go and look at them all, starting from around here.
Oh.
Okay. Oh. So this one is from Marie. Quality.
Oh, yes, we're bringing in the puns.
Oh, it's so cute. I love it.
It's great. And it's like another example of, I'm assuming, shapes and shape builders making more complex things as well.
Yeah, it's a great use of gradients in here too. Like, especially with this, I believe it's a sign.
Yeah.
Like a
road sign?
A road sign,
Yeah.
There we go. I was like, what are those things on the street? I just like, I don't know, my eyes locked into this gradient down at the bottom, like how you kind of just like,
it's giving it like the 3D dimension going on.
It's like
you've made a mock-up.
interesting use. Yeah, it looks great. And then even here on like the pole part of it, like you see a little bit of like shine, like some light right here. It's like very good use of gradients.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
yeah.
And you've used like a pattern in the background to add some more interest as well.
Mhm.
Yeah, nice job.
I like that. I mean, this looks like one of the stickers, the foil stickers that you see on a lot of candy packaging. So that's really cool. I love that.
It's the start of a mini chocolate brand, I think. Like,
or quality, like chocolate yummies. I want to see it happen.
yeah,
in
I
real
feel
life.
like this would be a fun, like, fictional brand to play with.
Yeah, I feel like I see this being sold at like Disneyland and like all the fun like amusement parks and stuff because they have like really fun takes on food. So.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, so cute.
Is it a llama?
I think it is a llama.
Oh no, an alpaca.
Oh, okay.
But-
I always mix them up.
I mean, I think they look really similar.
they do.
There's probably something very different about it.
Right. Okay.
Oh my
I
God,
love
it's
this.
gorgeous.
So cute.
Talking about eyelashes.
That's exactly what I was thinking. Farm to needle fleece and fibers. These are great.
Yeah, this is another little mini brand that I could see like
Yeah.
packaging being made for.
Let's look at the colored one.
Oh, nice.
Oh, very cute.
Yeah, I mean, I'd love to see this, with like some psychedelic colors applied to
Yeah.
it and just have fun.
Yeah, I think I would love to see like the eyes, like maybe a brighter color,
Sure.
just to see the pupils stick out a little bit more.
Yeah.
Right now, she does look a little angry at me,
Aw.
but that could just be my interpretation. But I love the design of.
Oh, there's so much beautiful.
Yeah.
It's a really well constructed little icon.
Mhm.
Yeah, but I do lots of animals, and none of my animals are the color they really are. Like so, like I
Yeah.
think you could have some more fun with your palette.
Oh yeah, so I feel like you can have different variations of alpaca and just go crazy. So
Yeah,
yeah,
but she's
I love
beautiful.
it. Yeah,
Beautiful.
I like how we already know the characteristics in the back of our head.
Is that a real one?
Oh wow, did you mock this up? That was nice.
Oh wow.
So Copper Cat Coffee Cartel. I love that.
Oh, that's great.
This is a very well done mock-up too. It looks very real. It looks like you took the photo yourself and
Yeah.
just mocked it up. If that's what you did, please let us know. But
There's lots of great depth of field to it that makes it feel really real.
yeah, it just feels very like, I don't know, just organic and not stocky about it. But
Yeah, and like you've started to create your own kit of parts there because you've got the cat paws and the coffee beans, and you can start to see if this was a brand rolled out where they could all go.
yeah.
Yeah.
It looks like a grand opening invite, so maybe like a flyer. This looks like or like a
Sure.
little postcard.
Where and when? Yeah, it's a party
Yeah.
invite.
I love it.
Yeah, nice.
I like let me see if I can zoom in a little bit
Little
more.
cat?
I like the cat icon, how it, the outline of the cat is simple, it's one color, but then the eyes really pop.
Yeah.
It's very engaging. And there's no
Definitely.
little mouth. For some reason, I like when like features are missing in
Oh, yeah.
illustration. It
Minimal
just-
illustration. It makes it cuter
Yeah.
somehow.
Yeah, right? It's like, oh, so cute.
Yeah.
Good job.
Nice work.
Thanks.
Oh, that's a real
Marcy.
coin.
Oh, wow. Liberty 2020. In apes we trust.
Oh my gosh.
You are all like copywriters or something, because this is just brilliant copy all around. In Apes We Trust. I love it.
It's so well constructed, like the balance and the actual thing is created really, really strongly, like lots of principles there, and really cool, like this metallic effect.
Yeah. I like how there's just like little hints of this like white coming through. It kind of looks like there's some like shine reflecting off of it.
Definitely.
It's very cool. It gives a lot of depth, and it runs through the type also pretty consistently. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, beautiful work.
Very well done. So now it looks like we're getting into the poster design stuffs from Dean.
It's beautiful.
So I love these colors. I just love this blue against this soft pink, and then that like little orange.
I'm very partial to pink, obviously, from my entire folio. Even in the background, it looks like you've done a blend tool from, a big rectangle to a little one.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you've kept that contrast really low between colors so that you can still layer things on top and you've got legibility of your information. That's a really clever technique. And you've also got a really great sort of Swiss layout going on as well, like with the multiple columns and all the different points of alignments. It's really beautiful work.
Yeah, even with all of the different like layers of dimension, it still feels very clean.
Yeah.
Which is very hard to pull off.
Yeah, it's very hard. It's the dream.
Yeah, like, because, if you laid all of these out individually, it would seem like a lot of assets that are in here. But, yeah, you have it laid out in such a clean way and, like, very intentional. It's great.
Yeah,
good job.
Beautiful work.
I want to see, what does the fine print say? Of course, I try to read the thing that, I don't have my glasses to read.
Sleep on safari? Is it sleeping with the animals, maybe?
Oh, this part says something SOS, and I thought it said something funny, but I can't read it.
Oh, it's a secret message.
Brr. Let us know if there's like a secret message that we're missing. And then it won't be a secret anymore, but amazing work. Okay, let's see. I've lost. Here we go. So Wisebox Studio. Again, we have a really cool, and I don't know if it's a coin. I keep gravitating towards a coin and then an embossed sticker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Both of those look like it.
Yeah.
This one's trickier. Icons with animals can be really tricky because you can focus on the whole animal or like maybe just one feature. The last one we saw with the ape one.
Yeah.
Focused on the head, and it gave a really good focal point for everything to be around it. This horse is sort of cut off because the body is so big and long. I think you've like solved it really well with that nice angle around it, but definitely working with elongated animals can be hard, and I often zoom right in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point. Job of like where the cutoff was appropriate and it doesn't look funky. And I think the main focal point could be like right in here where the eyes are, like right where the ears are. So that'd be an interesting take on this. I like it. I like it a lot. Horsey Farm. Equestrian School for Children. Very cool. I'm liking all of these ideas, the inspiration behind it. I feel like there's stories that we need to know. Okay, so from Bruno.
Whoa.
Very cool use of typography.
What does it say?
Is that a Z?
Benzero.
Benzero?
Something like that.
Maybe.
It's gorgeous. Like you're using type as image and type as pattern in this, and that's a really clever way to make graphic elements. Like I love the glitched and sort of off kilter things going on. Interesting use of colors through it as well. And I'm not sure, but have you put some sort of fabric texture over it?
Yeah, it looks like a sheet texture or like some type of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It kind of, like, when I saw it from afar, did just look like it was a poster mock-up or something. you would see this in Berlin on the walls, sort of, a little bit
Yeah.
ripped up, which is, it's a beautiful effect.
Yeah, it's really cool. It gives some like flow into it, and as the words kind of the letters vary like in proportion and color, like the background kind of helps inform that movement. So it's really cool and well executed in that regard.
Oh, someone in the forum just said it's David Carson-esque. So David Carson, he definitely broke lots of rules when it came to design and sort of went really grungy and edgy with that type.
Yeah.
And you can definitely feel that influence there.
Yeah, it's got
a really
that
clever point.
brutalist feel to it too. It's pretty cool. I like it. Lots of fun variations and project here. Wisebox, we have another one. Save the whales. We do need these signs at like every public beach. So I like that you're ahead of the curve. This is great. I think this one kind of addresses what you were talking about of like finding a focal point of the animal, which we have the tail.
Yeah, and that says it all without having to like try and get the full body of the whale in there.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, this is definitely an awareness thing, an awareness campaign one, but it makes a lot of sense. And I think you would definitely be hitting the right target if you put them along the beach, beachgoers being like, we need to save those whales.
Yeah, I like that you made this sign a color that is not already like how people identify certain like road signs or like caution signs. Because it's blue and you don't normally see that, it kind of draws your attention towards it. It's like, oh, so what is this? It's not another like beware or caution sign because it's an interesting color. So I think that strategically that's a really good way to bring awareness. That's not like in the normal way we look at things or look for things.
Definitely, and it's like less aggressive. I mean, so red and yellow is that, we have we're conditioned to always pay attention to them. They demand attention. Whereas this seems like more of a softer ask, and it's an invitation to sort of enjoy it.
It's like, save the whales, man.
Peace and hippies again.
Yeah. See, we're all on the same page here. Okay, Bruno. We have another one from Bruno. Martin Jung. Jung? Am I reading that right?
I think so. Yeah.
Very cool. This seems like it's like also a self-portrait maybe?
Yeah.
Which is cool.
With sort of like a posterized texture. There's a real texture grain going on. Yeah, in the background.
Yeah, and I want to say it's a stamp.
Yeah, maybe it's just a different variation of that seal stamp, and now we've got an actual postage stamp.
Yeah, I love the distortion, like grainy texture. That's like one of my favorite kind of like overlay techniques to just give like work more depth, or like maybe you're trying to portray like a couple decades worth of artwork or what have you, like whatever the intention is. I just love that feel. It just gives me something. I don't know. I just love it.
Definite retro vibes going on in there. And beautiful composition with a centralized figure as well. Yeah, nice work.
What is this? Ours?
I think it's a $2 stamp.
Oh, yeah. Very clever. You got all of the things.
There's a lot of tropical leaves and foliage going on.
I know. I'm like, did we miss something?
I like it, though. That's great.
Yeah.
Oh, see? Oh, there's another activist one, which I love.
I know.
So we're saving the whales and the earth, which is very important right now. I think I'm partial to the one on the left. The one with the full saturation going on.
Yeah, I would say the same.
Yeah, I think you might as well, do a double punch with those colors. But it's really nice. And creating that white box gave you room to put your type so that people can actually read all of the copy going on. And that's a really clever way to work with patterns, is to, lock it into a border.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice central balance as well.
Yeah. I think I like, in this one, I also like the background, how you've kind of like compacted all of the greenery and just like made it the general background, opposed to this one where it's a little bit more laid out. Visually, it's like more appealing for this one, but you want us to look at this. So maybe it's better that it's more condensed and
it's ended up looking more textural than like obvious leaves sort of thing. Yeah,
exactly.
That's great.
Yeah, I think, for the intention, that is a good way to go.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool. Oh, man. And I think that's it. Let me double check and make sure I didn't miss anyone. Okay. Yeah.
Beautiful work.
All did an amazing job. And I think we still have 12 minutes left.
12 minutes.
So
oh my gosh.
Maybe we bend the rules and we're going back and we're going to do the peace sign, right?
Yes, definitely.
Can we do it? 12 minutes?
Yeah,
all right.
For sure.
Pressure's on.
Okay, so we'll just start with the pen tool. So we've got the sketch, locked the sketch in the background. Once again, just knowing that I'm using the entire universe of Illustrator, so I don't really create separate canvases as I go because I'm borrowing as I'm making these designs. So we'll get back over here and I'm just going to start pen tooling. Somewhere over here. Once again, maybe let's put some color on so we can see it.
So when you drew this peace sign, did you look at yourself in the mirror? Because it's not like you can trace your hand like when you're in kindergarten and you're just like,
Yeah, I think it was more just me taking a bit of a photo of my own hand and then sketching off that sort of thing. But yeah, definitely. I mean, I think because of the genre that we're working in, perfection really isn't something that you need to strive for. You just need to get the general ideas and those organic cutout shapes.
Yeah.
So I might end that there. Start over here. I find pen tooling is like a meditation in its weird self. You know, just going through and slowly trying to get that right.
I forgot where we had the peace sign in the original.
So that's not going to be on the cover, but there was a section where at Woodstock they had no security and no fences or barriers.
Oh,
and
yes, I've heard of this.
Terrible planning.
Yes.
And in terms of like OSHA safety sorts of things.
Mm-hmm.
And a crowd that was like 4 times, I think, more than they even thought were going to come.
Yeah.
Yet everybody was so well behaved and peaceful and really nice. And there was a couple of like unfortunate incidents, but overall it was like a really peaceful, hippie kind of occasion.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think on that spread where I talk about how even the police that were there, who normally don't get along with the festival goers, were really supportive of them, saying that they were really nice young men and women.
I love that.
Yeah.
This will be a good time. We have a little over 7 minutes. So if you have any final, well, not final because we'll be here tomorrow. Check us out and we'll finish. What are we going to do tomorrow, actually? Let's just talk about that really quickly.
Yes.
So people come back and hang out with us again.
Yeah, so tomorrow we're going to be doing, so we've got the basic illustrations already just from what we did today. And then we're going to import them into InDesign, put our type. So we've got a very heavy...
it's a busy day.
Yeah, and quite a big... article to fit in, so there's going to be some negotiation of room for the illustrations as well as the layouts themselves. I'm going to teach something called Style Capture Apply, which is the method that I use to create paragraph styles.
Oh, great.
And I love paragraph styles, especially with like multi-page documents. So if you want to learn about them, definitely tune in. And then just a bit of like cleaning up of typesetting, like getting your kerning working and type styling.
Yep.
Yeah.
Anthony, yes, InDesign.
Yeah, me too. I love her.
Yes, we love InDesign here. It's the companion of Illustrator.
Oh, she's the mother of all of them.
Yeah, she is the mother. That's so funny. All right, any final questions? We have 5 minutes on the clock. She's going to finish the peace sign and answer your questions at the same time.
I've got this.
Absolutely no pressure at all. Yes, same time, Kelly. Can't wait to see you.
Oh, hey, Kelly. You won the stickers, I think.
Oh, yeah, Kelly, you gotta send us some stickers, please. Joseph asked, do you ever sketch directly in Illustrator?
I don't, but I work with incredible creatives who often use the iPad Procreate sort of things to just immediately sketch. And actually, Alan Barber, who is speaking in the forum, he's my incredibly talented co-worker, and he will sketch into it. And I think it's just he's very gifted when it comes to drawing straight away. For me, I kind of still need to have the pen and paper.
That's okay.
Yeah.
We accept all styles, always here.
Okay, so I've got general shape. Maybe I'll do that one later.
Yes, Anthony, and I will only say this for the people in the chat because it's still very, very secret.
Top secret.
He's referring to my sticker here. It is an Illustrator sticker, but it is an Illustrator sticker for Illustrator on iPad. If you've heard about the stuff going on at Max this last year, so hopefully I'll get to share some of that with you all very soon. Right now it's super secret still, but I'm glad you asked. Yeah.
Oh, what a good teaser.
I know, I just left the biggest cliffhanger. It's so fun having the power. Just kidding. We're almost done. We have 3 minutes on the clock.
Oh my gosh. Okay, that's okay. We can do it. So I'm just gonna overlay some of my patterns that I've made onto my hand shape. Let's have a quick look at what I have. And then Shift-Emming, getting rid of the things I don't need.
So satisfying. It's so satisfying. Just drag, delete.
Let's get these away. And then I think in this section I don't actually want that, so I'll come back to that.
I could totally see this being, if you did a more primary color scheme, being a symbol for pride, pride and peace.
Oh, yeah.
That would be really cool. That'd be a cool pen, enamel pen.
And I would definitely be open to people using it for that as well.
Oh yeah, that'd be great.
I'm grouping those. What time do I have?
All right, 1 minute. 1 minute. You can do it. And then the camera just cuts off. No, I'm just kidding.
I kind of want to do that. Almost there. Maybe we'll use these guys here. Whoops,
Whoa, we're almost there. I'm sweating. This is nerve-wracking.
Okay, we've got almost a hand.
Oh my goodness. We're going to make it. Everyone, cross your fingers. We're really going to make it. And that's time. amazing. Like, I was legit sweating. Thank you all for joining us. We will be here same time tomorrow with myself and Shanti, and we will see you later. Signing off.
Yeah, see you tomorrow. Bye guys.